What is everybody? The Gaming Messiah, the Biblical Beast, the undiscovered talent Archangel. Here with my review of Marvel's Avengers. This announced as one of the most talked about games at E3 a few years ago. Right now it's one of the most talked about games in general. First, because everyone felt, it felt. Back when this game was first, announced, no one had high hopes for this game. When they first started showing out trailers for it at E3s and game conferences and game awards, people had nothing but bad things to say about the game. They said it looked bad. The character models looked stupid. The art design was not good. People just had a lot of bad things to say about this game. When it was announced, when we saw videos on it, and when we heard rumors about behind closed door demos. But now, why it was one of the most talked about games before it launched. After it launched, it's talked about for a different reason. Not because it's a horrible game that they thought it would be, but because it turned out pretty good. But just because critics find the game to be better than expected doesn't mean the game is some masterpiece. Marvel's Avengers may be a fun game with a decent story, but there's a lot of baggage with this game. Let's talk about it. To start off, you have to understand whether or not this game is even for you to begin with. So understand that, are you into games like Destiny and Anthem? Because Avengers compares more to those games than I would say, the Arkham series or the upcoming Gotham Knights game. When it comes to playing as Iron Man, playing as Thor, they kind of behave in a similar way as to the Javelins and Anthem. When it comes to the core mechanics of the game, it kind of behaves in the same way of those two games, Anthem and Destiny. It's a grindy game. You grind, and this game for loot, you level. It's the same thing when it comes to Destiny. You got that color-coded drops, the greens, the blues, the purples, the golds, and the orange. It goes from uncommon all the way to exotic. It follows that exact same thought process as those games. Capture 3 points, hold 3 points, hold 1.3 times, kill on targets in one spot, do the same missions over and over and over again in the same areas over and over and over again. That's what this game is. Now, did these things make Avengers a bad game? No. But this is a review, and it's my job to let you know what kind of game you be getting into when you play this game, when you buy this game. If you didn't play the demo, if you don't watch streams, you have any kind of interest in this game, it's my job as a reviewer. It's anyone who does reviews' job to let you know everything that comes with the game. And that's what the Avengers game is. It's a game that has a lot of grind to it. Now, for the most part, these are the initiative missions. They're co-op missions. This isn't the campaign. The campaign plays a little bit more different than these initiative missions. Which from a gaming standpoint, the campaign is where this game shines. Crystal Dynamics, the developers that brought us the Tomb Raider series, are the brains behind the Avengers. And much like those recent Tomb Raider games, Crystal Dynamics has given us a game with a well-written story and great cinematics. A lot during my live streams of the game, which if you want to see me play games live on Twitch, links on Twitch will be in the description box below. But the thing I mentioned a lot during my streams when it comes to this game is this game introduces casual fans of Marvel and to long-time comic book villains like AIM, MODOK, and Taskmaster, 3 names you wouldn't be familiar with if you only watch the MCU movies. Which even Abomination is in a movie he was in the second Hulk movie. So, even he has, that's why I didn't name him when it comes to MODOK, AIM, and Taskmaster, because Abomination has been in a movie before. So I don't want anybody in the comments going, but what about Abomination? He's in the game. I'm not counting him because he's in a movie. These other 3 aren't in a movie. And this is a good way to introduce these characters to the mainstream audience, especially MODOK, who's getting his own cartoon on Hulu. Something else I often mention, not just during my streams, but in my beta video, this game is a very casual game, meant to entertain the casual gamer, the casual Marvel fan, but also good enough for hardcore fans of Marvel franchise to enjoy. This game has been getting a lot of praise, which is good, and it does deserve all the praise that has been getting. It has an excellent voice acting cast. The graphics are about what you'd expect for a game made during this this time frame. The controls are very simplistic and basic, and each character feels nice and will be fun to anyone who plays them. I spend a lot of time with each of the characters, and other than Captain America, for personal reasons, I don't enjoy him, but everyone else, I have fun with them. Iron Man, fun. Kamala, fun. Hulk, fun. Thor, fun. Black Widow. I've been kind of maining Black Widow a lot lately because she's freaking fun. She has the least amount of powers in the entire cast, but might be the most fun person to play as. But at the beginning of this video, I mentioned this game has a lot of baggage. It's not just that the repeated, repetitive, unchanging initial missions, but the game is poorly optimized and it has bugs. It can be very annoying. Let's talk. This game has very bad frame drops, which is an example of its bad optimization. Missions glitch out to where enemies won't appear or a door won't open. Textures pop ins. Voice sync problems. Had a mission with a friend where on my screen Captain America is talking, but his mouth isn't moving. Maria Hill is talking, but her mouth isn't moving. But on my friend who I'm playing the game with, on her screen, she said his mouth was moving, but it was out of sync with the words. So it was weird. We both were seeing different bugs and glitches while playing co-op together. I'm seeing a glitch where Kamala, we're just walking around and her fists are, expanded. And Garrus, her fists are expanded. She's on my screen. I also had mentioned, this is the same mission where Kamala's hands were permanently stretched out, just going through the map, going through doors, going through the floor. And I mentioned this to my person I'm playing with, and she says she doesn't see it at all. It's only on my end where, this bug is being seen. And I'd wager everyone has their own experience with this game. Potentially, you can play this game and not experience a single bug, a single frame drop, and all that kind of stuff. But there's also people who've had bugs and issues that I haven't experienced. Your experience will be different when it comes to glitches and bugs. Not every situation will be exactly the same. I can go on and on about the bugs in this game, but there's a lot, and I've had to deal with a lot that didn't get patched out, with the day one patch that's still present from the beta. But the worst I've had to deal with are crashes. The game has frozen and crashed more than once for me. The worst of it was during a live stream. It crashed my entire system. The game froze and my entire system turned off because of it. This game isn't for everyone. It's not the Arkham series if that's what you're looking for in a comic book video game. I think, Gotham Knights will overall be a better experience as a co-op game, while the Avengers game is a live service game that doesn't even have drop in, drop out co-op. So if you're not even into live service games, this game is not for you. Don't go buy this game if you see these videos like mine that tell you what this game is, and you know for a fact it's not your kind of game. If you're not into Destiny style games, if you're not into Anthem style games, if you're not into live service games, don't go pick up this game up and then playing it. I don't like this game because it's just like Destiny. It's just like Anthem. I don't want to play a live service game. That's your fault. You've been told what this game is. This game is designed for 4 players. So if you're a solo player, this game will not play to you. Your character choices don't matter. For example, there are doors that can only be opened by certain characters: Hulk, Kamala, and Thor. And Iron Man can open doors that open kind of walls and doors as well if he's in his Hulkbuster suit. But if you're playing like Black Widow solo, no friends, you simply will not be able to open these doors, these walls. Iron Man again can open them only if you waste your alt, which is your Hulkbuster. But if you don't have your alt, you can't get through these walls and doors. Captain America can't open them either. And when they add Hawkeye, he won't be able to get through these either, because they require big, heavy attacks to open these walls and these doors. So if you're playing solo, you cannot instruct your computer control companions to do anything for you, which to me is bad. I feel like the comparison I often use is Dragon Age, which is an RPG. I'm gonna get that right now. That's an RPG. But in Dragon Age, you can go into your settings and script your companions to do things for you. You can script it to where they focus on range attacks. You can script it to where they heal when their health is at 20%. You can script how they play and how they react to you. This game needs that. You can't script your companions to do anything. You can't script Iron Man to be ranged. You can't script Kamala to be support, etc., etc., etc. So if you're playing this game solo, you're gonna have a hard time doing a lot of things. You're gonna tend to avoid people like Black Widow because she can't open up these destructible walls, destructible doors. The boss fights in this game are some of the most poorly designed boss fights I've dealt with in games. It gives off the impression that the developers don't know how to design a good boss fight. So So they throw big body characters on the screen and give them poor abilities with badly designed AoEs to give the impression of difficulties. The fights are mostly okay in the campaign. It's the Avengers Initiative where they become a real annoyance, which might not even be less about the actual boss designs themselves, and more about the fact that the bosses in the Initiative are just the same bosses over and over and over again. You can only fight a giant robot, Taskmaster, and Abomination so many times before you get so much fatigue that just facing them is annoying. This game definitely should have had more options. Marvel has a huge catalog of villains they could have used as bosses in this game. Having to face Taskmaster and Abomination so much comes off as just lazy game development, and it just you have the source material. If you have Marvel in your back pocket, you can go into their catalog and find very small villains to use, throw them into the Initiative, and have them as boss fights instead of, hey, you remember yesterday when you went against Taskmaster and Abomination? Well, today you can go against those two again, and tomorrow again and again. It's literally just over and over. You're fighting Taskmaster, Abomination, and a big robot, and that's about it. This game has very poor boss fights when it comes to Initiative, and again, the campaign boss fights are okay, and they're not great, but they're okay. And at least there's some kind of variety when it comes to it. But when it comes to Initiative, when it comes to post game content, this game's boss fights are pretty shit. Another flaw I want to point out is the effect damage versus those who use the exact same effect. Like Thor taking damage from lightning damage attacks or Hulk taking gamma radiation damage. How is Thor, the god of thunder, getting hurt by lightning damage? How is Hulk taking damage from gamma radiation? Not only that, in this game, you have the abilities. You have abilities that allow Hulk to leave gamma radiation AoEs around him. So he creates the same radiation that does damage to him. That's silly and not very logical. The God of Thunder can take damage from lightning, and someone whose strength, who exists the way he exists, is gamma radiation, and his abilities in a game that creates gamma radiation AoEs is hurt by the same effect that he deals. That doesn't make sense. This game also holds your hand way too much. The game starts off letting you play and experience each Avenger, which is good. Get you familiar with their abilities, get you familiar with the characters themselves. So what's the problem? Well, after that, you have to unlock each Avenger individually, and when you do, the game wants you to basically relearn how to play each of them and has you do tutorials to learn each of their abilities after you already did missions with those characters and know how to play them. Tutorials are something that you have in the beginning of video games. You don't have to put a tutorial 6 hours in. You don't put a tutorial 10 hours in. This game does that. You'll be playing this game halfway through it and get a tutorial. Me personally, I hate tutorials. So being close to the end of the game and having, to once more learn how to play a character, do tutorials is very annoying. It's not optional. You have to do these things to progress the game. All in all, this is a good game. It's a fun game. And I'll always say nothing else matters if you're enjoying yourself, because that's what gaming is all about. Enjoying yourself, having fun. Are you enjoying yourself? Did you enjoy the story, the missions, the characters, all that stuff? If all those, hit check mark for you, then you are, you're good. Nothing else matters. The score doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The bugs doesn't matter. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? That's all that matters. Marvel's Avengers might not be a great, flawless masterpiece every Marvel fan was looking for, but it is a really fun game with a good story and some really great moments. I can't wait to see what comes next for this game with all its rumored characters, what expansion missions we get added, how much better the game becomes overall over time, all the DLCs, all the plans. I can't wait to see what happens with this game. I look forward to it. I hope it's all great. I know this review might come off as a negative. I pointed out a lot of flaws in this game, but I do think it's a good game. Don't get it twisted. I do think this is a good game. Well worth anyone playing it if this genre is what you look forward to. Again, live service games, Destiny, Anthem. If you're into these kind of games, and if you're into the Marvel Universe, you will enjoy this game. Play it with friends. Yes, that they could have done better with the UI and the general, ease of play with friends. But again, it's a good game. It's not surprisingly good because I trust Crystal Dynamics to make good games. This game was not anything I didn't expect. This game lived up to my personal expectations because I personally feel like Crystal Dynamics is a great development team who makes good games. I enjoy all their work, so I expect this game to be good, and it is good. It has its issues, but it's still good. Since this is technically a review, reviews do come down to scores. Me, I would give Avengers a 7 out of 10. Could it be an 8? Yes, but the reason why it isn't an 8 is because of the issues I've had to personally deal with. It couldn't be better than that, though. To me personally, it can't be better than an 8 out of 10. But a 7 is what I'm giving it for now because of all the issues that I've had to deal with this game. It's a good game. with all of that said, that's it for me. Hope you all enjoyed the review. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next time. Follow me on Twitch. Link to my Twitch will be in the description box below. Again, guys, hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good night. Goodbye.